Adam mentioned earlier, so his nonprofit, as I think most of you know, is I Got Legs. But so one of the big projects that they have going on right now is that he's trying to start an exoskeleton racing league. So he has been talking to officials from the Paralympic Committee and saying that he thinks that this should become a Paralympic sport. Obviously that's a long road and a lot of things have to go into putting that together. So what he started doing as an initiative of his nonprofit is starting to do what he's calling the Exoskeleton Racing League, which this is one of the kind of what he said pilot races for that at the moment. One of the most interesting things about thinking about making this a Paralympic sport is how expensive the equipment is, as I'm sure probably a lot of you know at this point. That's how his nonprofit really got started, was that this is such a difficult piece of equipment to get a hold of. Insurance doesn't approve it, etc. So one of the things that has to kind of be fleshed out is figuring out how people with different types of exoskeletons can actually race against each other, because obviously there are pretty stark differences to each type. These are probably two of the main types of exoskeletons that people use both recreationally and just like in their daily life. So they're the most likely ones for people to have, but there's pros and cons to both of them. So when trying to decide what distance to race at this point, kind of taking that into consideration, where equipment actually is a big factor in that. So figuring out how different people can actually race against each other with two totally different types of equipment is one of the parts of the project.